second week in a row. You cannot say that we're not consistent now.
Oh my goodness.
Well, welcome to Full Tank. I am Connor. I'm joined here with Ben.
Yeah, episode 2.
Episode 2. We get a fun start with this one.
Mm-hmm. Not 36 minutes ago, from the time of recording, new hero announcement.
Hero announcement. So, I mean, right away, we have no idea what his abilities are going to be or anything like that.
We could speculate.
So, I'm going to speculate and be wrong mid-episode when they release the actual
the developer
abilities.
Update from Jeff from the Overwatch team talking about Baptiste and his backstory, which I'm extremely excited for. We'll either get that today or tomorrow. Yeah. Hopefully today in the middle of the show, where we can make a very unprofessional cut to us watching the actual announcement while we're recording this.
Yeah, me not having any clue about what this character is going to be like besides DPS support is not going to stop me from making wild speculations of what his abilities are going to be.
Yeah, so from a lore perspective, this new hero number 30, our 9th new hero added to the game. Baptiste.
All right.
His name is like Jean something Baptiste. From the looks of it, he is a Haitian hero. He's from Haiti. From his background, it appears that his hometown was being attacked by Omnics.
He said some Omnic hate in there, yeah.
Something like that. And then Talon came in to combat it, and he realized that he needs to take a stand and help protect his people and fight. So he joined up with them. But he quickly realized that this is not the organization he wants to be a part of, and he regretted his decision and eventually left. And in his time in Talon, he was a combat medic.
Medic.
Very interesting. His character art, he is holding what appears to be a grenade launcher.
Yeah.
And it's freaking awesome. And he is carrying these like mini health kits right on his body in like a body strap.
Like a bandolier almost.
Yeah. A bandolier, that's the word.
What is interesting is it looks like from the picture that you sent me, it looks like the grenades loaded into his weapon have like a gas in them or something almost. Really? Do you see that? It looks like a liquid or a gas in there.
That's what I think.
Maybe he's going to be an like denial character or like an AoE character.
He's the goats counter.
He's the goats counter. Yeah.
Let's get right into. Well, he had a really sweet quote for his actual announcement. He decided to make the world a better place, one bandage or bullet at a time. Which it's a really cool quote. But he uses a grenade launcher. He doesn't fire bullets. Stop lying to us, Blizzard.
Come on, Blizzard. Where's the consistency department?
It's ridiculous. So let's get right into wild speculation.
Yeah,
I didn't notice the picture I sent you that he had gas in it. So that leads me to believe he pumps out weakened version of Ana grenades.
You think it's going to have a debuffing effect on him?
I don't think it's a debuff. I think it'll be like an AoE splash damage of like maybe 40, but it heals AoE too.
Maybe the crossover between Junkrat's grenade launcher and Pharah's rocket launcher, basically.
I don't know. I think it's a combination of Junkrat's grenade and Ana's bio-nade.
You know what I'd like to see as far as like how the projectile actually acts? Mm-hmm. I would like to see it travel in more of a straight line, maybe. Then, or like, you know, because Junkrat's grenade arcs pretty wildly. So maybe more of a projectile, a faster projectile, but then can bounce around maybe like once, you know, so you can bounce it off walls, but not many times like Junkrat's grenades. So it's a little less spammable.
I think it's going to have an extremely slow fire rate, probably slower than Junkrat's. But I'm fine if it keeps the arc. It'll have to be an immediate grenade burst, or else he's not going to be a reliable healer in the slightest.
Right. So I think that he's going to have, he's probably going to have an ability, hopefully more, I don't want it to be like Bionic Field from Soldier, you know, because that's what it looks like he's kind of holding. He's holding like a mini health kit. Okay. I want him to just like be able to, maybe like he has almost Tracer like blink cooldown, but he can throw out mini health kits and they recharge. That was my thought.
I think it's going to be more like, this is going to date us, but it's going to be more like Torbjorn throwing armor, but mini health kits. Now the question is this going to make Sombra even better, because can Sombra hack them herself?
The mini, that'd be nice. That'd be really nice.
As if Sombra wasn't already great as is. Sombra's good right now. I love it.
This entire week, I don't think we saw. We're gonna start dipping into the Overwatch League Week 2 stuff, but I don't think we saw a single match that didn't have a good deal of Sombra play in it this week.
Sombra can straight up win fights.
Instantly.
Like, not even can, she does straight up win fights.
Oh god, yeah. EMP used to be a relatively low impact ult, I would say. It used to be to the point where everyone was way more split up, and now that we have this GOATS meta, everyone is meant to be playing in the basically within the Lucio AoE. That's exactly how teams should coordinate move.
They didn't do any buffs to the EMP at all, but what happened was the meta shifted to being so tank and a squishy support reliant. So that once the EMP hits, all the tanks are just big bags of health. Like,
right. They nerfed EMP when they took away the alt charge off of health kits. They did
even that wasn't a big nerf, because didn't they do that the same time they gave her always
that
invisible?
Was the trade-off, yeah. So I mean, EMP just got better recently after that change.
It's just like when Doomfist suddenly became meta for a few weeks.
Out of nowhere.
They didn't any changes to him. But it was just because the meta shifted into a certain way when it was like Widowmaker, 2 snipers, Mercy meta. Doomfist just became good because he can easily pick off all the squishies.
Right. So I'm hoping
Sombra. I don't even know. A lot of Sombra.
Honestly, well, what I'm thinking, if this weapon of what's his name, Baptiste.
Baptiste, yes.
If this weapon of his maybe shoots out a gas, wouldn't that be great Sombra denial though? If it like lingered for a second.
If it lingers.
And it might do like decaying damage or something like that, where it's doing low damage but maybe stacking, so where if you're getting hit with more grenades, it's going to start like eating away at you faster or something like that. I don't know. We'll find out in probably 15 minutes when they upload the new video, but I'm excited.
We both have the YouTube channel pulled up right now. Let's see if I think we already mentioned that.
Nothing
new.
Nothing new.
I
want to know.
Hope it drops. It'll be like maybe at 9
and
or 6 o'clock Portland time.
Actually, I'm gonna check Blizzard launcher right now. I'm gonna check BattleNet, see if there's an update for the PTR.
Oh my goodness.
Because if I can get on PTR tonight and try them out. I don't think they'd release them that quick because they like to, do the announcement and then sometimes they've done a few where they announced and then had on PTR right away. But
that's what Hammond was.
Yeah, he was. All right. I don't think there's an update right now. Dang. There's a BattleNet update, but no, I want a PTR update. Dang.
That's rough.
Well,
a lingering would be very nice because that would counter Sombra a bit because Sombra is extremely good right now.
Right. But it also, I mean, if you pump a few grenades into the center of a Reinhardt, Zarya, Winston group up and it starts doing stacking damage, we have no idea what kind of damage it's going to do. But I would like to see something like that. I think a stacking damage debuff that can just kind of snowball if you're really good with it would be a lot of fun.
See, it's going to be interesting because anything that is anti-goats is going to be played in goats.
Right.
Like, I can easily see him taking over the Zenyatta on a position that we currently see.
You would switch out the Zenny for... we'll see when
Lucio's too necessary.
So, this week I did see a few Moiras. Obviously, you wouldn't have a Moira over Zenny, but maybe this character's gonna maybe act as more of an Ana replacement and
it has to
still be able to do a decent damage.
More offensive Ana replacement.
Yeah, I don't think you can lose Zenny right now. Well, and especially...
Ana replaces Zen and goes. But Lucio makes the comp work because of how mobile it is.
Yeah. But no, I think that if you're going to switch out anything, take away either the Ana or the Brig, whatever it's going to be.
It's going to be the Ana Zenyatta spot if he becomes meta.
Right. And then hopefully he can do a good amount of damage. As long as he can do a good amount of damage to tanks, then hopefully we'll have a little bit of a shift back to a more aggressive meta, which is what I want.
Because I think it'd be interesting if he throws down his grenade, if it just lingers in a spot for a little bit. If it lingers like Soldier's Biotic Field.
Yeah, but like as a gas so that you can see who's put it down,
but it could also damage. I think that'd be a good counter to Goats because it'd be fair because that would make it would move the fight over a bit and also would make your team not be able to just stay there. Granted, if you get on the point, you can send her around.
Right. And a huge thing that you can do to kind of work around goats is just position them. If this is a character that is going to be able to outposition, destabilize like the position of the enemy team, get them off high ground, get them away from where they want to be defending, Yeah. I think this is going to be an area denial character, hopefully.
Yes, which should be great. I think it'll be a good goats counter, but it might be somewhat like in a similar vein how Reaper was, how it's meant to do one thing, but it just makes it okay against it and completely oppressive against everybody else.
Right.
Because if Baptiste is about area denial, Orissa's immediately useless in my opinion.
Of course. You can only run Ryan as a shield tank at that point. Or well, Ryan and Winston as a shield tank at that point.
Yeah. I doubt it will go through shields, because if it went through shields,
oh my God, no. That'd be overpowered.
That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous. Let's check one more time just to make sure. No, nothing.
Oh, it'll be at like 9 or 10 or like not all tonight.
Or they'll just torture us and wait for the start of week 3 to actually, show the video at week 3 when they start, on Wednesday or on Thursday. Do that. Of course they would, because they want to drum up more Overwatch League promotion. Right. They're going to just make us sweat for a little bit,
Stop being right.
All right. Well, speaking of Overwatch League, week 2. Week 2 is exciting.
Great. Oh, man.
Week 2 is really good. We got way more Hammond play this week, which I was excited about. We saw some good Widows and stuff. There were some Carpe McCree moments even, which I'm always fine with.
Let's talk about the Dallas matchups after we do different matchups of the week, because we can talk about those more. I think the first thing that needs to be said is we said that, like, Reinhardt is the most important piece of the meta. If you die, you're going to lose. But actually, from this week, what was really stressed on is Zarya.
Zarya. Absolutely.
There was the one interesting stat they kept bringing up throughout the entire match. The entire week was, according to their statistics, if the Zarya is the first person to go down in a team fight, that team only has a 5% chance to win that fight.
Because all of your damage is just gone,
Yeah, because she's a DPS tank. She does such high damage. We'll get to that in just a second. But, she blocks the shields. She enables grabs. Just does so much.
Yeah. Zarya is disgusting right now. I mean, I don't want to touch too much on Dallas Fuel, but AKM was even kind of playing sloppy Zarya play this week and still just destroying.
AKM was amazing.
He was great, but he was doing some sloppy stuff.
Did you catch the Toronto Defiant Los Angeles Valiant match?
I did, and that one was very good.
Did you see the statistic they threw out on Hollywood?
No, what'd they say?
There was a record that was broken this weekend. I think it was actually broken twice. I had to double check. On Hollywood's Toronto versus Los Angeles Valiant. In that map, we had the highest damage in a single map and the second highest damage in a single map in that very same game.
Wow.
That was both Zarya players, Kareev and Ivy, got 29,000 damage dealt as Zarya and 27,000 damage dealt as Zarya.
Holy shit.
In the same match.
That's insane.
That is insane. Zarya does so much damage now. She is so valuable at this point to the meta.
Right.
That she is the damage dealer right now. It's ridiculous. I had to double check about this too. But from the looks of it, the stat went by quickly. But the very next game, which was San Francisco Shock, Vancouver Titans, which was the game of the week. That was an incredible game that I want to talk more in depth about. I had to double check, but I think that game broke the record that was set in the previous game. I had to double check the stat, but I think the Zaryas on Vancouver and San Francisco got over 30,000 on their match.
What?
On their map.
Just off Zarya?
Off Zarya on Kings Row, I think. I have to double check it. I'll double check that. I'm going to make a note of that to myself, but I think they broke that the top 4 damage dealt in a single map was all done this week, all in 2 separate games by the Zarya.
Wow. So the star of that one for the Vancouver Titans was, how do you pronounce his name? Suman-Su? I think it is. Suman-Su, is that it?
Yes.
He was insane on Zarya this week.
Oh, yeah.
His grabs were, I mean, I'm watching some of the highlights, and he was always at above 75 energy, which as long as you're above 75 energy, you're going to set those record-winning damage numbers.
What was his energy?
Let's check is there a way to check his average energy?
Maybe.
I wish.
It'd be harder to do here. 93.3% playtime is Zarya across all maps.
Yeah. The entire time I was watching it, because I was trying to pay attention as much as I could to there's Zarya, but I never saw a time when it went to his perspective where there's Zarya, besides like coming out of the gates, but pretty consistently above 75 energy, you know.
But yeah, to put this into perspective, he currently sits at number 3 in damage per 10 minutes at 11,607.7. And number 7 overall in final blows per 10 minutes at 7.19. And he also ranks 15th in both eliminations and deaths per 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
So he is a pretty good player.
Yeah, pretty good player. And Vancouver is surprisingly a pretty good team just in general. They're looking really good so far coming out the gate. Are they 3-0 right now?
Was that I said last week when you can take any single Korean contenders team, put them in the Overwatch League, and they'll be one of the better teams.
Right.
I believe the team that the Vancouver Titans used to be, I think was like Runaway was their name. I believe they won the Korean contenders.
There you go.
The fact I need to double check that I'm going to forget about. It shows. Let's just jump right into talking about Vancouver. Vancouver is one of the best teams in Overwatch right now.
Yeah, and that's shocking for a expansion team to just come in here and just look so confident on every match. They're always looking good so far.
Okay, so right now for the Stage 1 playoffs, there's 5 expansion teams currently in the playoffs.
I noticed that, and I wanted to bring that up. That's insane. 5 out of how many? How many are going to Stage 1 playoffs? 8. 5 out of 8. That's pretty good.
The only returners are New York Excelsior at number 1, of course. Seoul Dynasty at number 5, and Philadelphia Fusion at number 8.
So, and Philly shouldn't
be there.
Philly shouldn't be there.
San Francisco Shock is better, in my opinion.
Do you think so?
Overall better team, it's Philly, I think. But like, if we're talking GOATs, San Francisco Shock is better. Easy.
And that's kind of how you have to examine everything right now, is whose GOATs is better right now. And Vancouver is just wiping the floor with it.
There was a reason Vancouver, San Francisco Shock was the match of the week. In week 2, it was so damn good. They switched up and had Sinatra come in as their Zarya player for the Shock. I don't think he saw the play at all in week 1, but
Sinatra, I don't think I saw him play. Yeah, no, I don't remember seeing Sinatra week 1.
Oh, but he was such the better Zarya player. He gave so much life into that San Francisco Shock team. I'm sad to see them lose because they're extremely good, but currently at 1 and 2, their record does not show it. But they look absolutely incredible at the same time. So
what do you think was the leading thing for Vancouver that actually got them the win then?
On both matchups, they played. Who did they play earlier this week?
They played Shock.
Guangzhou Charge.
Yeah.
They played both teams named after lightning.
Yeah.
Both matches, player of the match was their main tank player, Bumper.
Whew. He was looking great. His Winston and his Rhine were just stupidly aggressive. They just fed everything into him. You know, every bit of support that they could, they were just feeding into Bumper, and it worked. It worked. It's very clear that he is the leader of their team. He is the centerpiece of their team. Oh, yeah. And it shows. I believe the quote from the casters this week was, he has a diamond-level player's skill set and play style. But he's just a grandmaster, top 500 team shot caller. Yeah. His team focuses around him, and they know that they let him do this, and he is so good at what he does. Follow Bumper, and we're going to win. Basically, they showed a statistic in the middle of the match. They showed 5 of the relevant Reinhardt statistics. I cannot think of them off the top of my head, but he was first place in 2 or 3 of them, and top 5 across all of them. He is easily one of the best, if not the best, Reinhardts in the league right now. Right. I mean, and part of what makes him so good is that he's been landing a lot of shatters, of course. what is always going to be game changing. But he's keeping the Zarya up just so well. The Zarya can just keep melting damage into him. He knows how to he's keeping track of the bubbles so perfectly. I can see that he's getting bubbles as soon as they're coming off cooldown. I'm watching some of the rewinds right now. He's getting them. He knows exactly when he wants them, and it just times them out perfectly at this point.
Like, he is a stupid, aggressive Reinhardt player, and his team helps him get away with that.
Oh yeah. Easily.
Other teams, if their other teams can't be phased by it, they need to be unfazed by it, because if they get phased, they're just going to run all over them. Did you see the one play when he was demeching their diva or something? He charged right off the map with her and cost him the point on Defense Volskaya.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be. Was it Bumper that did the play this week where I hope that every week this year we have a play where a Winston knocks somebody off the map in Horizon, because I remember it might have been Bumper. I don't know if it was might have been Primal Raging, but I remember him chasing somebody out and basically jumping off of the map, hitting them even further away, and then jumping back.
Oh my goodness.
Just to make sure that they were dead. I think it was a diva, so you had to make sure that she wasn't going to get back with boost. But yeah, to be able to juggle that well, because I mean that's all that you could do to get good value off of Primal is learn that juggle perfectly. And he knows exactly where to place his jumps. He knows which characters are going to move exactly which far from each hit, and he just juggles the shit out of them.
Yeah, he's such a good main tank. He's arguably the best main tank right now. They have arguably the best tank lineup in the game. Su, one of the top Zaryas right now, one of the top damage healers. He's number 3 overall in total damage dealt as a Zarya player.
And this is somebody that I just have not paid attention to.
Yeah, best main tank with Bumper. And we also need to talk about their diva player, Janu.
Yeah, Janu is doing great.
He is the clutchest diva I have ever seen.
Yeah. I saw a lot of eat and grabs from him, which is, team winning.
Eat and grabs was the name of the game, I think, against Guangzhou. I believe it was.
I love eat and grabs.
No, it was against, I think it was against actually the Shock.
Yeah.
He was eating all of those grabs. He got a huge diva bomb whenever they needed it.
Yeah.
And he got a big 4K bomb to win in overtime on King's Row. Incredible. He won them their team fight, I think, to finish off the game in game 3.
Yeah. I'm watching game 3 right now, or I'm watching them roll through Route 66 right now, and they just always have at least the 2 combo ults, They've got the grab, or they've got the grab and the bomb, or they've got the...
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Against the Charge on Saturday, his diva bomb won them the game 5, I think.
Did it? I gotta try and find that clip.
He gets it whenever they need it. He's so clutch for this team.
I'm glad that the Diva Zarya combo is actually becoming so much more viable, because it used to be way more difficult to pull off the grab Diva bomb. I think. I don't know. It's just
when you throw Reinhardt into the mix, it always pairs nicely with Zarya to begin with.
Right. So, I think that the best way to actually set up the triple combo now is to do grab, have your Reinhardt charge out their Reinhardt, which I saw a lot of. I saw a lot of charging out the Reinhardts to set up the Diva Bomb, and then I also saw a lot of the stunning Brigitte on to the Reinhardt, and if you time that up perfectly, you can get all 3 of them to go off at once, and you win fights right away.
Because when it inevitably devolves into onto both teams being eaten in graviton surges 5 meters away from each other, each with their Transcendence popped in there, and a Diva Bomb on each side, of course, because that's how GOATS is, and that's always hilarious to watch, That Reinhardt charge in the middle of that is so effective, because it actually it'll get a pick off.
Right.
And even a Diva Bomb, too. Unless
you have every target to go for in that point, because you want to get either the Reinhardt, you want to get the Zarya out to get her bubbles away, or you want to take out the Trancing Zen. And if you get any 3 of those, so, as soon as you hear Graviton go out, you should be hitting charge right away.
Yeah.
Because no matter who you take out, it's gonna be beneficial.
Everybody on that Vancouver team flashed. You have Slime on your Lucio. He wasn't extremely flashy, but you don't really need that out of him. I think it was the Lucio. And the one that impressed me, especially on that last point, was Haxel.
Yeah.
Haxel is their designated Brigitte player, because every team needs a designated Brigitte player.
Of course.
Actually, I think it was on Volskaya where he switched. The clock was winding down. He was trying to defend the point. Switched to Doomfist. And he was picking so many people off.
I do remember seeing that.
It's usually when it gets to like that May, Doomfist, Wrecking Ball, Scramble to just make sure you can keep contesting and overtime on defense. That's always usually never going to work because you have all the momentum built up in other teams. You're losing the grabs. You're losing all the ultimates. But his Doomfist was so good. He was winning them that defense. And was part of the reason why they won that map because he was so good.
He's the DPS. He doesn't want to be playing support. He wants to just get off and go off on Doomfist. So once he gets the opportunity to, he's going to show you how good he's going to be, you know?
They looked a bit shaky against Guangzhou Charge, but they were able to prove that they could win. They had an ironclad defense, especially on Hollywood in particular.
Charge is I mean, they kicked the shit out of us this week. What's their
of 2 games for Dallas again?
It's awful, isn't it?
So bad.
if we just stay even this year, I'm going to be so pissed. Charge are at 1-2 right now, but I think they're going to get a little better. I think they're going to come up and be towards the higher end of the mid-range. I don't think they're going to be top tier.
I think they're just going to be middle of the pack. They're currently ranked 12th right now.
Yeah.
I could easily see them as like a 10, 11, 12 team to stay because they can easily win these games. They're not going to be a cakewalk. They're good enough that they can adapt, especially their diva player, I believe, Eileen, was looking incredible, especially on Sombra. That entire roster just has a ton of flexibility. It's amazing.
Right. So do you want to start talking about some fuel stuff?
Oh, God, no. I want to talk about all the other games.
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
Paris.
Ooh, Soon. I love you, Soon.
I was so correct about Paris Eternal being one of the best teams in the league.
I would be very happy to see them in finals, and I would love to see expansion team going to finals. If it's going to be Paris, I think that's totally fine with me.
I mean, looking at them, they're still a sloppy team at times. It's very clear that they're still trying to work out all the kinks. Like, they're definitely not as good as the New York Excelsior.
Right.
But they are still clearly one of the best teams in Overwatch. They're currently the standing is New York Excelsior, Vancouver Titans, Paris Eternal. Those are my top 3 as well.
I think so too. Soon is disgusting.
Okay, so Soon on the first point, I believe it was Nepal. On the very first map, he played May, and that was so much fun to watch. It was such a great pick, seeing him just freeze everybody. I think I know why it was so much fun to watch. It's because a DPS player was actually playing a DPS character.
Right. They were defending on, or they were playing on Shrine. I think that's it.
No idea. And it was the one with the bridge.
The best one for May.
Side. Yeah.
The best one for May, because every attack route that you could possibly go on that map is just so easy to shut off with Ice Wall.
That is the best May map in the game. You are right about that.
For sure. They did not switch the entire time. I don't know why they weren't switching LA. They were looking really sloppy this week. They weren't switching when they needed to. I remember, even in that first round when they were playing with the May, they didn't switch off to an Ana until it was literally in overtime. Why would you switch to an Ana when it's overtime and you're losing?
Yeah, you want that transcendence to last. You want to be Zenyatta, well, the other slowest character, but you want the transcendence more so, I would think, than you want the nano boost. But.
Well, no, I'm talking, they came out the gate when it was 99% and they needed to get back to point. They came out with an Ana. They switched
they grouped up. They didn't even touch the point when it hit 99 to 100. They just gave it up. They were too slow. Vinci is probably my favorite player on that team, on that Paris team.
On Paris, I still stick with Soon because I love Soon. But yeah, Vinci is
great. Vinci is such a good diva player.
Such a good diva.
That first map,
he was hitting bombs.
He got a 3K, which was amazing on that.
Yeah.
Like any diva bomb getting more than, well, honestly, a diva bomb getting any pick is great because
it's always fun.
Honestly, the diva bomb, one of the worst ults in the game, I'd think at this point, solely because if you're good, you can play around it. But got a 3K. It was insane. On that first map, there were 4 Eaton Graviton surges.
Whew. Oh my gosh.
And that's what I'm thinking. Let's go back to Baptiste for a second. When Baptiste goes into the game and he's reliant on throwing out health kits maybe and throwing out his healing grenades that also do damage, like that's just gonna make D.Va even better.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, what's his ult gonna be?
Oh god. Fan the hammer. Oh, do you remember Super Smash Bros. Brawl? You had a Solid Snake's ult where his final smash where he would just stay back off screen and just fire grenades to people.
Yeah, that's Something what he'll do. He'll jump up into a Talon ship and rain bombs down on the map.
Yeah,
he can launch giant like gas canister. That seems weird. Dropping gas bombs on people.
Skin, that'd be better.
Oh yeah, I would lose it if they had a solid snake skin.
Give him a taunt where he turns into a box.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't even know his backstory. I know it's a bit of his backstory, what they want to base him off of, but just give me that.
Right. I just want a Metal Gear reference in my goddamn Overwatch game.
Ep2.
But yeah, back to Paris and Gladiators. Gladiators, I want to like them. You know, Surefour was looking pretty decent on Zarya, but Hydration was doing pretty bad this week, I remember thinking. Yeah. And who else was just kind of sloppy this week on Gladiators? Who is playing Brig for them right now?
I believe that is it Hydration or Surefour? No idea.
I don't know.
It's one of the. I'd like to say it's Hydration.
Yeah, it's Hydration, and he's been not doing what a Brig should do, and you could see it. You could see it in the match. He was out of position in like every fight.
Hydration. I honestly think. I think Los Angeles Gladiators can be a good team. I think their record, we're going to talk in a bit about teams that are currently underrated and teams that I think are overrated. I think the Gladiators are fairly underrated right now. I certainly don't think that they are the 14th best team in Overwatch right now. I think that they're a bit better. And they certainly showed that because it was a very good game against Paris. It wasn't a one-sided fight. Paris only won 2-1, meaning Gladiators won and they tied a map. Like, they're obviously not a bad team.
I think that they're going to get into a groove soon, and I want them to. I want Gladiators to be good. They've got one of the most exciting lineups. I mean, just off their main lineup, they have Surefour, Hydration, and Big Goose, who are three just like big personality characters, I think, you know? Like, they're, especially Surefour. Surefour is like the heart of their team right now.
Yeah. And also Roar, he's an amazing main tank. Yeah. Bishu and Void are also amazing off tanks. Like, this is a team that's actually good. It's just I think they've had some bad luck as of late. They've had some really tough matchups. They might not be the best at GOAT. Who knows? But I think they're still a pretty good team that is just getting the short end of the stick recently.
Right. Did we see any Bishu this week?
I don't believe so. I don't know if we've seen him at all. I think Void is the one who currently is just in all the time.
Why have they not been playing Bishu at all? I wonder.
Bishu, I think, might be the better D.Va, but I think Void plays Sombra.
Oh, so yeah, and that's kind of what it boils down to, is who can also play Sombra right now, because we need somebody to flex off onto it.
Actually, no, he hasn't even played Sombra yet.
Oh, really? Oh, well, there you go. Who's playing Sombra for them?
I think it's always been one of the DPSs. Because Surefour is one of the best Sombras in the league.
Is he?
Yeah. He was the best Sombra when he was just playing like in comp and whatnot.
Right. I'm trying to see when they're. I of course said today, I don't think we saw a single game without Sombra, and I'm trying to search through their clips right now, and I don't see any Sombra. They did run some Moira for a while, which I'm always happy to see.
I think Void might be better as a whole, but he also can play Zarya a bit. So in case they want Surefour to actually play a character he's good at, his second highest play is Sombra. It's Zarya at 76%, but Sombra at 14.9.
Right.
It's Surefour.
So as far as tanks go, speaking of D.Va, with the recent changes with how Defense Matrix is going, what do you think is going to take D.Va from? I think she's at a slippery slope right now. I think that we're going to get close to another nerf soon for her, which I really don't want to happen, because she is really good right now, and especially Zarya being so good, you kind of need a D.Va to try and eat those grabs up. But between Hammond and D.Va, I think what's going to be the change there that finally solidifies one of those characters as a mainstay? Right now, it's a balancing act between, I'd say, you usually have to go Zarya, Ryan, right? And then your third tank is either D.Va, Hammond, or Winston.
I disagree. I disagree with that. It's usually D.Va and Zarya are always the mainstays. It's either Hammond it's Reinhardt or Winston. If you play Winston on the maps that have multiple levels to them, different routes. Like you see a lot of Winston on defense, Numbani, because there's a lot of high ground areas, a lot of quick places you need to go. Reinhardt's more of a straightaway area kind of defense that way. I honestly think, I think the way D.Va is intrinsically designed, she's always going to be good.
Yeah, just because Defense Matrix is always going to be powerful. It's kind of like you can never nerf Lucio down to the point where he's going to be useless because AoE healing and AoE speed is just always going to be useful.
Well, like AoE speed is why you play Lucio. It's just the healing is a bonus.
Right.
But with D.Va, I think if they wanted to remake Overwatch, they wouldn't have given D.Va an ability that counters everything in the game.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever make an Overwatch 2. You know?
I disagree. I think they'll make an Overwatch 2.
You think? Really?
In like 10 years. 15.
10 years. Okay. 10 years from now.
Well, Overwatch 10 years from 2... now, Activision Blizzard's not going to be a company.
Oh, please. If only a perfect world could exist. So 10 years from now, Overwatch 2, the Battle Royale version of Overwatch comes out.
Oh, God. You mean Apex Legends?
I finally got 2 wins in that game.
I have not played it. I just know that everybody likes Caustic because he is an example of what a main tank can be without needing a shield, because he can throw out all the gas that obscures vision and creates space for your team that way.
See, wouldn't that be a cool thing for our new character to do?
That would be a cool
have some kind of smoke screen?
Yeah. And Overwatch is already okay with ripping off people because we already have rocket jumps.
Right.
References to TF2 anyway, so...
We don't have a single, actually, I would be interested in seeing some kind of smoke screen, not necessarily a shield or anything, but once you lay down a smoke screen, obscuring the enemy view like that is going to make it it's going to be so difficult to attack this zone because we can't see shit going into here.
Caustic's great because of that. They actually ripped that off because in a great little game known as Star Wars Battlefront 2, you have that ability already in God, what's his name? Lando Calrissian. Lando has the ability he throws down a smoke grenade and then he pulls out his pistol. His aim down Skype is an infrared where he can see everybody through it.
Nice.
It's really cool, and I really like how he plays.
I'm still not playing Battlefront 2 yet.
You need to get it. It's so good.
Until it comes free.
In a solid 2 months, or I think Battlefront 2 will end up being a free game of the month at some point, maybe even within the year.
Oh yeah,
I think
once that happens,
I'll go ahead. In that case, download it. I'll play it with you because it's really good.
Deal.
Okay.
Cool. Maybe that will be an ultimate. Yeah. We haven't seen a soft area denial where it's not necessarily gonna do damage area denial, but more of a utility area denial. Yeah,
And you see Hammond come in as he's a solo tank whenever Hammond is usually coming in. Asterix.
Right.
You usually see Hammond coming in with 2-3 supports. And then 2 or 3 DPS. Usually a Widowmaker, sometimes Pharah, always a Sombra in that mix.
Right.
A combination of Pharah, Sombra, Widowmaker, and Tracer, always coming with that. And I love seeing that comp because it's great at creating space. You get to see DPS players actually playing the roles that they have been assigned to play. It's really refreshing, and it's honestly a very fun comp.
Actually getting to see a Tracer do cool things. Oh, I miss Tracer. I might play Tracer tonight.
Yeah.
Just to have some nostalgia.
Yeah. Speaking of Wrecking Ball, let's shift towards the Chengdu Hunters.
Okay. Who was playing Hammond for them?
Among.
Among?
Among, yeah.
Emon. E-M-O-N.
Not the Philadelphia Fusion streamer.
The other one.
Among. A-M-E-N-G. He is their main tank. He's the best Wrecking Ball in the league right now, solely because he is the one who plays Wrecking Ball the most, and he does the best.
Right.
It's very clear he is uncomfortable playing Reinhardt and Orisa. Okay, look at this. 75.5% playtime on Wrecking Ball.
Oh my god.
16.4 on Reinhardt. 8.2 on Orisa. He has played...
The 30 seconds that somebody played Orisa.
2 hours, 17 minutes of Wrecking Ball.
Oh, I love it.
I hate watching the Chengdu Hunters play.
Why?
I like seeing Wrecking Ball play, don't get me wrong.
Me too.
But I think that Aming is holding him back because he's clearly best at Wrecking Ball, which means that the team has to work around playing Wrecking Ball.
Right. Which is an issue sometimes.
Like, they're playing Goats variant with Wrecking Ball
all
as
the time.
Reinhardt/Winston, and they're still playing Zarya and D.Va with it.
Well, I mean, I guess their thought process behind that is build up the quick Zarya ults, and you'll always have an ult to combo with it, you know?
Let me just say this. It's so easy to counter if you know what you're doing, but if you're not prepared for it, you're going to get steamrolled.
Well, because, I mean, like, as soon as you see a Hammond, you already have the Brigitte, and then you just switch off to Sombra, and then you win. You win the round. Yeah. That's it.
Well, yeah, we're going to, we're talking about teams that I think are currently overrated. It's the Chengdu Hunters, because they're so easily counterable. They're the only team right now, granted it's still very early, they're the only team right now in the Stage 1 playoffs that have a negative map differential.
Really? That's hilarious.
They got 4-0'd by the Seoul Dynasty. And they got 4-0'd by the Seoul Dynasty, and they pulled the game 5 in the other 2 matches they played.
Wow. So they just have a terrible map differential, but they're actually winning still.
Who would have thought the extremely well-seasoned, well-trained, disciplined Seoul Dynasty roster is good at countering something that is used as a surprise pick?
Right.
It was not painful to watch for me, because he's obviously the best at Wrecking Ball and wants to play it, but Seoul's just so good at denying it. Like, Michelle is the Seoul D.Va player and also the Sombra player. Michelle was so damn good because he was so good at countering aiming.
Yeah. You just, I mean, it instantly becomes a 5v6 if you know how to play the Hammond matchup correctly, which is very easy to do. Hammond is a very easy character to counter.
Yeah, and, like, Brigitte stun, Sombra hack.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. And it's so, like, if you have a disciplined team like Seoul, I think Seoul is really good right now. The record doesn't show it as, I mean, they're 2-1, but I think
they're definitely going. They were looking sloppy at the beginning of the season, but they're looking better.
They lost to Dallas.
They lost to Dallas. Yeah, exactly. That's them looking sloppy.
That's a seasoned team, a disciplined team that can easily beat the cheese strategy of Chengdu. I think Chengdu is going to be like a very popular team. They're already an extremely popular team.
Right.
But they're so counterable. Like, I love seeing the Hammond play out of him, but it got boring because I get it. He can play Hammond.
Right. We don't need to see only Hammond.
Yeah. Like, that game against Seoul was just so painful that made me not like watching Chengdu that much because of how easily they can counter it.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit here.
Okay.
The meme is over. Dragons.
Shanghai Dragons. Oh,
the meme is over.
I am so upset I did not watch that game.
I am so glad that I watched that game. It was really cool just seeing the crowd lose it, you know. You could tell that everyone was like, even the people that were like there for Uprising, they were like, yeah, come on, you gotta be excited for that.
Like, that's just a beautiful moment in gaming history.
I think, you know, it's exactly how it should be for the Dragons. They're last in the league. Well, no, they're not last in the league anymore, are they?
No, they are currently ranked tied for 16th with the Florida Mayhem.
Yay! They don't suck enormously again. I really want to see them win some more this year because they've just become such fan favorites off of just being so shitty.
The deciding factor is Gamsu came back.
Gamsu came back.
Was actually here this week. Who would have thought having a good main tank, or let me rephrase that, a main tank player.
Period, yeah.
Helps.
Yeah, shocking.
Young Jin didn't cut it as their main tank.
No.
Who would have thought that having somebody who is used to playing tank helps a team?
Right.
Right?
Yeah, we had Gamsu back. He was, what was he on this week? He was playing a bunch of Reinhardt and some Winston. Yeah, the crowd at the end of it was exciting, and Twitter was losing it after that game. Twitter lost their mind. Every team was giving them, like, yeah, nice job, you know?
They won the first 3 matches, I think, right? They won the first 3 maps.
Was it just 1, 2, 3 for that?
I think they won. It was the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it was 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Oh, my gosh. So... on the other end of the spectrum, poor fucking Uprising.
Oh, man. And even the match they won, I just looked, they won Rialto 1-0, meaning they got the point.
Yeah.
Or I don't even know if they got the point. They could have just pushed farther.
Right.
Than the Dragons did. Man, Rialto is heavily defensive skewed. It is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I think that map is one of the most defensive skewed, and I think Paris is going to be one of the most heavily defensive skewed maps coming up too. Paris is going to be stupid on second point defense. I think it's going to be so easy to defend, and the attack on that map just looks miserable. It's a widow's paradise because you just have massive sight lines from defenses spawn. You know, the walk back is
choke. The first choke is so ridiculous.
Right.
Did you see? The first choke is significantly smaller than before. And, I know, like, all these offensive maps, like all these assault maps, they have a very small choke to actually get into the point. Whatever.
Right.
But, like, this, I think, is smaller than usual. It's very actually similar to Temple of Anubis's first choke.
Oh, yeah.
Where you have, and on either side, when you come in, you have two different little boxed-in areas where they could hit you at. I mean, they could easily go either side, but it honestly feels like it's just the first point is a flipped version of Temple of Anubis.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Almost.
And then the last point is point B is like it's similar to point B of Oskaya, where there's just that huge open space in the center.
Yes.
But it's even longer. And the attack angles are, I mean, you can go left or right on point B, but they're both. The left side is all up against environmental hazards. It's all up against the edge still, which first point is actually going to be stupidly easy to attack because you could just force them off. If you just are aggressive enough, you could just force them back, and then they have nowhere to go.
I'm excited because I think Dive could come back from this map.
Oh, please. That'd be so much. Isn't that weird that like I'm begging for Dive meta to come back?
No, because Dive meta, you can actually see more DPS being played. Now, I miss seeing DPS being played.
Right. And, oh no, is that going to see a drop in Sombra once Dive comes back again? Ugh.
Yeah, that's sad, but it'll be fun.
Yeah. If that even, I mean, hell, we might just get a totally random new meta. We might get another quad tank meta or something.
Give me Wrecking Ball solo tank meta, please. Inject that straight into my veins. Okay. Yeah.
Reinhardt, it'll be Hammond. It'll be Bastille. What is his name? Bastille?
Baptiste.
That's gonna take me forever to figure out his name again. Han, really
he has quick. An extremely like stereotype Haitian name.
Still no video about his abilities.
No, it's very sad.
I can't wait. Okay, Fuel. Let's talk about him.
Fuel.
I need to talk about
games again. It was a tale of two games again.
It was, and we just looked so bad against Charge, or not Charge. Oh my God! All these electric.
No, it was Charge. It was Bonzo Charge.
Oh my God! See, I'm even misguessing myself.
Yeah.
There's too many Shock names, too many Charge names. What is it? Shock, Charge, Spark, and what's the last one? Shock. No, I said Shock.
Shock, Charge, Spark. Yeah, it's a 3.
Oh, I thought there was a fourth one.
No, it's just a 3.
Oh my God.
Which makes it more confusing because you think there's a fourth one.
We just got rolled. We looked terrible the entire time.
Effect looks terrible.
Effect looks terrible. And I feel bad saying that because I want Effect to do well this year, but they can't put him in right now.
Like, Tracer is not that good right now, and he's not a good Zarya player. AKM is clearly the better option.
Clearly.
It was apparent in their match against... Who did we play? Against Philly. That was such a game. It was so apparent against Philly. Like, the game Effect came in for ACAM was the game we lost. And it wasn't even close.
No, and I think a lot of what it comes down to is not only is AKM the better Zarya, he's the way better shot caller. Absolutely. And he's their shot caller right now.
Effect seems like a very,
he's quiet.
Yeah, he's a quiet person.
I've watched some of his streams. He's quiet. And
granted, that's the culture. But.
Right. But AKM is he's got the coordination right now. He's leading all of these attacks right now, and he's become the star for Fuel.
Yeah, he's a star of Fuel right now.
And then I know that you had some harsh words for him, but RCK did do well this week.
RCK looked so much better against Philly. We'll get to that in a bit. Let's stay on the Charge, so I want to talk more shit about RCK before I have to give him props.
Go ahead.
He was really good at just getting sneaky bombs, but he's not with his team.
Right.
Like, on the last point, like on Anubis, he wasn't anywhere near... I think it was Anubis. I don't remember what the last
against Philly?
Against the Charge.
Okay.
He wasn't anywhere near his team as they got immediately shredded. They got 4-0'd.
Yeah, I think he's going to get better with that because he needs to.
Yeah, again, like if he pops his ult trying to pick somebody, it's very clearly he's trying to solo queue, get a big pop to get something.
Going
it
for
looks
the miracle
great
bombs.
if he gets it, but if he doesn't, it's just he's wasting his ult and can be feeding. It's sad to watch. Also from that game, OGE is not a good wrecking ball player.
OG is not a good wrecking ball player, no, but he is a great tank right now. He's one of the better Reinhardts right now in League. He's being super aggressive. He's knowing when to actually hit the good shatters and everything. He's been pretty good with his ult economy too. They've actually been pretty good at their ult economy altogether, actually. And that's what their main thing that they were struggling about with Charge. They were not good with their ults against Charge.
No. I think it really just comes down to AKM being in instead of the fact.
Right.
Because at this point, it's very clear that Zarya is the heart and soul of teams at this point.
Right.
We're going to have a lot of conflicting opinions because we're not professional casters yet.
Right.
But Zarya appears to be the most important piece of the offense right now.
Absolutely.
And so our team looked bad with effect because he was not the best at pulling off his grabs. He was not the best at shredding down people. He was not the best at managing his bubbles.
And it's a bummer because we do need a good secondary Zarya. We can't just leave AKM in all the time, as much as I'd love to have AKM in just every game all the time. We need to rotate him out. We need another...
Not even that. We can keep
Zarya.
AKM in the entire time. I don't care. I mean, if we want him to play more DPS, I think Mickey can play Zarya fine.
Sure. I haven't seen too much of Mickey recently. Just because
we haven't seen Mickey at all yet. We've had 4 games and we haven't seen Mickey at all. That is a tragedy.
Streams. I know. It sucks that we can't see some Mickey, but
we did see Mickey during one of the ads where they were telling people, they were talking about Diva. They had Mickey going on explaining about how you can play Diva well, which is a shame because I was crying watching it because we haven't seen Mickey at all. He was being all smart. Like, the grab was important because once you get the Reinhardt in it, it's great. You can pair it with a Zarya is great, but you can pair it with a Shatter because either their Reinhardt has to block the Shatter or the Diva bomb, and either way they're getting destroyed. Like, Mickey, you're so smart. Keep talking. Why aren't you in?
Please play. I just want you in.
Baby, come back. Please.
RCK had some good stuff in Philly. He was looking better in Philly.
So much better. He was actually getting pops. He looked like he was actually somebody knocked some sense into him, and he was actually sticking with people.
There you go.
What I think it really comes down to though with AKM, it's AKM. He's the better Zarya.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like the past games when Dallas lost, when Effect was playing more. You see a lot of OGE getting shredded immediately. You see a lot of the supports getting shredded immediately. You get a good Zarya player in to protect them, they live better.
Right.
And it's so clear. And I'm so sad because I like Effect as much as the next guy.
I do. It's a bummer. Zachary has been looking really
dominant.
Good against Philly. Oh yeah, they were insane against Philly.
That first map against Philly was amazing. They looked extremely patient. There was the one quote that the casters said.
Yeah.
It was, Dallas, when they were losing, it seemed like they were trying to be experimental at first and then switching to what works. And who would have thought that reversing that when they do something that works and then got experimental with it? Who would have thought playing something that is known to work is a good thing?
Right. And the experimenting was, let's see if we can throw Effect in for a round.
Effect's not going to see any play, I don't think, at this point.
I would like to just say them bite the bullet and just say, all right, instead of throwing Effect in for AKM, we'll throw Mickey in for AKM.
Okay, like we're playing Shanghai Dragons next week is our one matchup.
Cool.
That week.
Oh, we have only one match this week?
Yeah, we're just playing Shanghai next week. And I would be surprised if we see Effect in at all.
I'd be fine if
actually we might because Shanghai has a lot of good DPS players like Danye.
Yeah, if we see some good stuff.
Youngjin. So we might actually see him coming a little bit, but
cool. I'd be happy with that. I really need to see some Mickey.
At least Effect will come in, I think, a bit. I don't know about Mickey. I don't think Mickey's going to see play until Goat's bad.
Yeah, tragically.
Oh, but going back to like 20 minutes ago when we were talking about Diva.
Yeah.
On the tanks. When the next patch comes in for Season 2. When they do all the armor changes. Because I think they're not playing with the nerfed armor from before on this patch. But they're also going to play with the different armor and shield stack next patch. As well as...
Stage 2.
Yeah. For Stage 2. As well as Baptiste.
Really? So, you think they'll have Baptiste in for Stage 2?
I believe. Because I think they are. Because he's going to be available on PTR this week. And Stage 2 starts in like mid-April. Yeah, April 4th. Early April.
My birthday? Oh boy!
Happy birthday, Connor.
Yay!
Happy birthday, Connor.
So we get some Baptiste in. We have a little bit of a new meta change because I mean, obviously, we'll get the initial. Everyone's going to be trying Baptiste because he's a new hero.
Yes, but yeah. No, going back to when Baptiste is in the changes. Yeah. I don't think D.Va's defense matrix nerf is being played right now on the Overwatch patch.
On the Overwatch League patch, I'm not sure either.
Because I think it's still 1 second regeneration and not the current 2 second.
Just imagine how different that's going to be. Because, I mean, really, once you see a defense matrix go up, it's going to be so much easier to throw a grab in there,
Because once that D.Va change comes in with the defense matrix, making it slightly worse, need to play it better. And once the armor changes come in, with Baptiste, who looks like he can be good at countering goats, I think you'll see a bit less D.Va, and it should change things up for stage 2 a bit.
Oh, maybe we'll actually see some... Yeah. I'd be even happy with seeing some Reaper or something. Yeah. Anything.
Because what I do admire about Overwatch League is that they're very quick to getting the new players, the new characters, new stages in relatively quickly. Yeah. I really appreciate that about them.
They want to show off the cool new stuff, which is good. I want to see the cool new stuff being played by the pros. It makes me more excited for the cool new stuff.
London won.
Hey, London! Woo! What are they at right now? 2-2? Actually, 1-2.
1-2.
They're 1-2.
No, they're 2-2. Never mind. 2-2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 2-2. Who did they play this week?
They played Philly, and they played the Paris Eternal.
They played, wait.
Oh, that's week 2. That's week 1. I'm going crazy.
I was about to say, wait, they played Philly this week? Oh, yeah, they beat Washington, which I would have liked to see Washington win, of course. But,
Yeah.
And they played...
Well, they won both their games, and they played Hangzhou Spark.
Ah, dang. Both the teams I wanted to win lost.
Yeah, I don't think Washington's very good. They have a very solid defense, very conservative-looking team, but it's pretty clear that they're not the best.
No, they don't have the coordination yet between all their teammates, I don't think. I want to see them do better. They've got some good people. I mean, they've got Edo, they've got Janice, which, I mean, they have Janice on a team and that's doing bad. That's weird thinking about that. Especially, he came from Excel, right?
Yes.
With how well Excel is doing. Oh my God, Excel is doing insane right now. Well, actually, let me check. I want to see what the next few games for Excel are. I want to see who I think is going to take them down first.
Toronto Defiant and Seoul Dynasty. Seoul could beat them on Sunday. San Francisco Shock the week after.
I could see Shock giving them a run for their money.
Who knows?
At this point, I want them to get grounded in the dirt like Seoul Dynasty did last year because I don't like the New York Excel. I treat them like the Yankees at this point right now.
Gotcha. Back to Washington. Yeah. I really liked Corey. He was able to farm his gravitons like crazy against this team.
And that's how you win right now.
London definitely needed their wins this week. Washington is a very good defensive team from what I was seeing, though.
Right.
London's heart and soul is their DPS, like with Bird Ring, Prophet. It really shows. Their tanks aren't the best, and they can't effectively play tank-heavy teams.
Right. They're going to have to switch to that, of course. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of a change up, but they need to, in order to be championship contenders again, they need to get a more solid tank base.
Yeah, or at least wait until the meta shifts.
Right.
Tank heavy.
Which is not something you want to rely on. You want to make sure that you got the setup going.
But what's good about London is that they can get ahead of steam and then just snowball. Because they reverse swept them.
They reverse swept Washington? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal. Poor Washington. Oh, I hate to see that.
Did you watch that game?
I did not.
No,
the Washington-London game, I watched the first part of it when they were getting to the 2-0. And I was all right, Busan, cool, Washington's doing great.
Busan map was crazy. That last team fight lasted for a minute.
Which one, Busan? All right, I'm going to have to watch that map later tonight again, because I don't remember it right now. Oh, I love a good, super long team fight. Any other games that were exciting this week that you watched?
Yeah, let's just talk about Philly for a second. I want to talk about the Florida Mayhem a bit.
Okay.
Florida Mayhem coached very well against goats. They have a pretty solid ghost-looking team. They're very good against playing against goats.
Right.
That's where they were able to win 2-1 against Philly, is that they were incredibly good at just being able to counter them. Granted, Boombox was out for the entire week, and Elk was in. And sure enough, Philly dropped both games they played.
But we also didn't see who was missing from Mayhem last week that got added in again this week.
Oh, God, who was that?
It wasn't Saya Player, was it?
It was Saya Player.
Was it?
Yeah, I remember saying here.
Oh, wow, he's ranked first in damage per average 10 minutes right now.
He played one match. Oh, he played two. Never mind.
Okay, so we did get to see some Saya Player, which I'm sure that helped.
Yeah, Swan looked really good on that match. Swan diving onto enemies.
Hell yeah.
Zephyr got a sweet 3K on defense on Numbani. It's very clear that they're good at countering goats. They came in that match knowing their opponent extremely well, and they were able to roll them 2-1.
Nice.
On the flip side, they're not a very flexible team. They're not very good at thinking on the fly, which is why they got completely dominated by the Chengdu Hunters.
Right. I want to see them be consistent. They're another one that they're fun to watch, you know?
Yeah.
But they're just not actually performing.
Granted, that was a Game 5. Chengdu Hunters, Florida Mayhem, Game 5. But, like, the reason that Chengdu was able to win is because they play these unconventional comps. Like, they won. They're 2-1 right now, currently in the running for the Stage 1 playoffs. But that's because they're beating these jank teams that don't know how to flex onto to counter it. They played Seoul and got absolutely crushed, but they played Florida, who was very good at countering goats. They were very good at preparing against goats, but it was against playing Chengdu that plays a ton of Hammond and a lot of these other garbage comps that they get completely wrecked.
Yeah, because they don't know how to react. So they need to definitely just focus on the flexing.
We're like, oh, what's a wrecking ball? Oh, it's that tank that you saw literally every single fucking
Just switch to Sombra. You'll be fine.
Switch to Sombra for the love of God.
Go May.
Go May. Go Brigitte. You know how to counter it.
Yeah. You don't need to stick to goats all the time. You can switch up a little.
Like, I'm a stuck in gold console player, so I know what I'm talking about here.
Absolutely.
Counter it, for the love of God.
I'm a stuck in gold and stuck in plat PC and PS4 player. I know what I'm talking about. All right, so
God. I like Alma. I love seeing him play these unconventional teams, but it's just frustrating to see these teams just barely lose to them.
Right. Where's Craggy at?
Craggy?
Or Fraggy, I mean. Isn't
he's on the Philly Fusion.
I thought he was on Mayhem.
No, he's Fusion. You just don't see him played, Jester or whoever is their tank.
Right. So, next week, games that you're excited for? Or this week?
Well, first, was there any other game I want to talk about, really? Spark looked sloppy, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, Spark did look sloppy this week, and I wanted to watch them because I want to love my Bubblegum Brigade, but they were looking really sloppy this week.
Paris looks good. I think it's actually all the games I want to talk about.
For this week, next week, I'm very excited for the first game of Atlanta versus Paris.
Actually, that is my top game of the week right now.
That's the one I'm looking forward to most this week, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, new teams, amazing new teams.
Oh, that's going to be exciting. That's going to be a really good game.
That is the Saturday matchup.
Nice.
The very first game on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific. Other games that I want to look at, San Francisco, Hangzhou Spark on Thursday, the 11:30 game for me.
Nice. Okay, that'll be an exciting one.
I want to see San Francisco Shock take that because I think they're a good team. I think Hangzhou Spark have lucked out. I either want to see the Spark get a win that they deserve, or the Shock proving that they're actually a good team. That I think they are.
For me, for that one, I'm gonna root for Spark, but I think that Shock's gonna win.
I think the Shock are gonna win. I'm gonna root for the Shock as much as I hate rooting against the Spark because those uniforms.
Oh, those uniforms!
I want the Shock to prove that they're the team I think they can be.
Right. I really want Gladiators to beat London this week.
I do too. I think they deserve it. The game I'm looking forward to on Friday is Shanghai Chengdu.
Me too. I think that'll be a really good one.
I think those teams are at the same level, if I'm going to be honest.
Wait, the Friday game you mean? Shanghai? Yeah. Shanghai or Dragons vs. Hunters. Yeah, that'll be a good one. I hope that we can see another Dragons win, of course. But
I want to see Chengdu be knocked down a peg.
I think they're favored, obviously. They're probably going to win, but oh god, I hope the Dragons do. Anything else this week we're gonna face against just Dragons this week.
That'll be a fun game.
Hopefully we don't give them either their second or third win.
I think we're going to lose to them.
Do you? We might.
I think we're fairly even talent-wise, but like...
Yeah. Yeah.
I also think we're better than the Charge.
Dallas Fuel's better than the Charge?
But we lost to them.
I think that we're better than the Charge,
we beat
too.
Seoul.
Yeah, we beat Phil and Seoul. That's pretty good for me.
Are we going to be that team this year that wins against all the good teams but loses against bad teams?
Yeah, I think so. That's fair.
Dallas Fuel is the Seattle Seahawks.
Great. That's really the only games I'm looking forward to. I don't care about New York versus Seoul.
I think that's going to be a great game. I personally think that's going to be an amazing game.
I probably won't watch that one, but...
I know you're not going to watch that one because those are two good teams.
I can't stand those two teams.
I know. I think Hangzhou Spark Los Angeles Gladiators is going to be a great game. That's also my game for that day.
Oh, yeah. Sunday at 1:30?
Yeah, 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific.
Okay, yeah, that'll be a good game.
Teams that I think are playing well against each other. It'll be a good game to watch.
Actually, I think both those teams are in a similar spot right now. Where
I think they're like pretty much at the same level.
Yeah. I think they're both.
Hangzhou Spark was winning games they shouldn't have. And Los Angeles Gladiators were losing heartbreakers.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's going to be an actual. Hopefully that's a game fiver and it's not just a blowout. I'd be kind of disappointed if it's just a blowout.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I don't think any other games I'm going to watch this week, unless some other stuff starts off really interesting.
Valiant look bad.
Valiant look really bad. And I am totally happy with that. Because I didn't like them last year either.
Fly hard. Like, I don't think their team is that bad. It's just that they're out of the meta right now.
Right.
And that's really what it comes down to.
Maybe they'll go back to being the better LA team, but I hope not.
I mean, Kariv set a record as one of the top highest damage on a map as Zarya.
Really?
Yeah, he was one of the two Zaryas. He was either the number one or it was Ivy was the other Zarya, I think. That got like 29k or 27k. It'd be the number 1 and 2 most highest damage dealt on a map.
You know who we haven't talked about yet, actually, at all? We haven't talked about the Outlaws once.
Yeah.
And it's because they're bad right now.
Yeah, they're not Texas hard enough.
They're not Texas hard at all. Muma has been looking really sloppy in his games. I really haven't been watching too much of them, but every time I watch them, they just are falling apart.
I think they're in a similar boat to the Valiant, where they're more reliant on their DPS, and it's a tank-heavy meta.
Yeah, and that's what it just boils down to right now.
I think Muma's a great main tank player.
Yeah.
But I don't think their off tanks are able to support him that well.
Jake hasn't been doing too well in the games either.
No.
Oh man, that's good to see.
Like Leaser's on the bench. That's just sad.
Right. Let's hope for this year we can at least beat Outlaws. The Fuel can. Hopefully, if we can beat the Outlaws.
Yeah.
Then I'll be
happy. Where
did
the Outlaws finish last year?
Last year? Oh gosh.
They're like the middle of the road. They were kind of winning though, weren't they?
Well, towards the end of the year, yeah.
Their league. They finished 7th out
last
of 12.
Year?
Yeah, a 22 and 18 record plus 17 map differential.
Oh boy. What were Fuel at?
Fuel were 12 and 28 with a minus 42 map differential, finishing 10th.
That's so sad.
It's so sad. But we made the playoffs. We were extremely hot last year. We made the Stage 4 playoffs.
I think we're starting off, obviously, way better than we did last year. And I think that our coaching is to the point where we're going to just settle in and only get better for the rest of the year. I think it's going to be less stressful to watch Dallas Fuel by Stage 3.
I know. By Stage 3, yeah. But my issue with Dallas is that they're extremely slow to react and adjust. Right. It's very clear. It took them, 4 games to realize that effect isn't good right now.
Right.
You're trying all these experimental comps. Just play what works. You have the ability to play what works. Just do that. Like I told you before the season started that Dallas can be a top team because they have all the necessary pieces to play GOATs effectively.
Really well. I mean, when they are performing at their best, they look top tier. Easily.
Yeah.
They look just as good as New York does when they're performing really well.
Granted, it's hard to tell if your team is good or not because GOATs is hard to watch because it's just a bunch of hammers being swung at each other in a big mess until one team dies.
Right.
So it's hard to tell. But if your team does that more than the other team does...
then you win. Yeah. Actually, speaking of Fuel versus New York, when do they fight New York? Not for a very long time. Their first game against New York is not until June 29th. Oh my god.
I like that we have a shorter season because the season last dragged on a ton. But what it is this year, it's like, I think we play our in-conference teams twice. So that's 18 games. And then we play the other conference team once, so for 10 games, which makes 28 games.
So we get one chance to beat Excel. I hope that we can take them.
But that's extremely sloppy in a game that's relatively easy to get matches in. But.
Right. So we want to be able to beat Philly again this year. We want both wins on Philly, for sure.
That reminded me. San Francisco Shock's schedule this first stage is just a motherfucker.
What is their schedule?
Well, they played Dallas. They played Los Angeles Gladiators, which is a tough map in week 1. Week 2, they played the Vancouver Titans. Obviously tough. Week 3, they play the Shock and the Justice, which is a bit of a break for them.
That's a bit of a break
they're playing Excelsior and Paris.
Oh no! Oh god! Oh, poor Shock. They're gonna have a rough opening.
And I think they're a good team. But...
Yeah, we'll see. By stage 3, they'll be hopefully top 5.
After that Vancouver game, they pulled up, or against the Shock, they pulled up a stat about Bumper. Again, talk about how good of a Reinhardt player Bumper is. Bumper's average target hits per Reinhardt hit on a swing is 2 targets.
If you can at least be hitting 2 people at all times, that's
whenever he hits somebody with his hammer, he averages to hitting 2 people with it.
That's hilarious.
That's ridiculous.
That's averaging, so he's usually hitting 4 or 5. It's like just that sometimes he's swinging his hammer at nothing.
And that goes back. Want to know why he's getting all that swinging in is because he's so aggressive. He can run in and actually swing his hammer so much, and his team can support him doing that.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Going back for a second against talking about how the Valiant last year finishes the number 2 team in the league.
Valiant did?
Yeah. So number 2, really? 27-13 record.
Dang.
With a plus 36 map differential.
And currently, they are 0-3 with a -3 differential.
Honestly, this just reinforces how hard the meta can shift.
Oh, God,
Like last year, Seoul was by far the best team early on because the meta was like dive, heavy Mercy meta. But when it switched to being the double sniper, heavy Widowmaker, heavy Mercy,
Widow,
they fell off.
Yeah.
Versus New York, who was the most consistent team. So, this is actually a fun stat. Valiant were second place, 27-13 record, plus 36 map differential. New York Excelsior, 34-6 record, plus 83 map differential.
They only lost 6 matches last year?
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't win finals.
Nearly 50 higher in map differential.
Wait a minute.
The second place team.
Who took New York out of playoffs last year?
They fell to Philly.
That's exciting.
Philly was so dominant coming into last season.
Yeah, I really hope that they do kind of get into a more consistent... Because I like seeing Philly do well. They're one of the teams that I think deserve to do well. You know?
That just goes to show you about Overwatch, how it's so meta-dependent on whether a team's good. Philly is looking not the best right now. Because they're not the best at running GOAT. The Valiant are 0-3 right now because they're not the best at running GOATs. They have some of the best DPS cores in the game that can support a DPS meta. They can't win because they're not good at the meta. Like, it's so sad. There was an instance in the Dallas Fuel game.
Yeah.
I believe it was the third map. No, it was the last map. It was Dorado. Dallas won Dorado. But it was so sad watching it because on the second to last team fight of Dorado, when Dallas was on offense, Dallas lost that team fight, the second to last one, because Heartbase switched onto Widowmaker and picked off 3 heads.
And he had that falling down a headshot. He was jumping off of high ground and turned around and hit. I can't remember who he hit.
It was close. It was the Lucio.
He was, that's right. And he jumped off the high ground, hit him, hit the headshot, and then still grappled back up and got on top high ground. Like, it looked so cool.
That was so sad for me because it's so clear how good this team can be.
Right.
But they're not because they're not good at GOATs. Like, that was the highlight of that map for me because it shows how good he is, how good Philly can be. But then it just got sad because then he immediately grappled himself back to spawn and switched to Zarya.
Yeah.
And then they lost.
Yeah.
Like, it's sad.
I just want to see DPS again. I want to see Hitscan. I want to see him at Kree again. We need the big boss Pine plays again, you know?
I want to see Taimou because I haven't seen him in a hot minute, and I don't know if he's alive anymore.
No, he might not be.
Is Taimou dead? Who knows?
Is Taimou dead? Soon TM.
Is Taimou dead?
My guess is yes. As far as Overwatch League stuff, that's all I wanted to talk about at this point.
Let's go back. Let's talk about teams we think that are currently overrated and teams we think that are underrated. For me, overrated, I think the Chengdu Hunters, obviously.
Yeah, overrated for sure. On the scoreboard right now, Seoul is up there, and I think they're going to be dropping down.
I think they can beat dominant teams. Or they can beat, they're a dominant team when they want to be. They're very well disciplined.
Right. What do you think about Toronto?
I haven't seen enough from them. They're at a 0 map differential right now, 6-6-1.
Yeah.
So it still remains way too early to be seen.
Did we see Toronto Valiant? Oh yeah, we did. We already saw Atlanta versus Toronto, and Atlanta won. That's what I was gonna say. Is I think that of those two expansion teams, I don't know why in my mind I kind of connect those teams. I think it's because their logos sometimes.
Yeah, they're both red and black.
Yeah, they are just very related to me. I want them to be rival teams. I don't even know if they are yet, but I like Atlanta better. I want to see Atlanta do really well. I want them to do well. Boston, I don't think they're going to do well this year.
They lost to Shanghai. They're not going to win a game the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's it. Gladiators, would you say they're underrated, or do you just think that they're...
I think they're underrated right now.
I think they are, too. I want them to do well. I think that they're going to settle into something a little bit and be able to pick it up.
They've had a string of bad luck. Obviously, Shanghai Dragons, I think they're going to do so much better coming in.
Too. But they're not even underrated. Everyone knows what to expect from them. So
and then, for me, San Francisco Shock are another underrated team for me.
Yeah.
Because watching them, they're playing so much better than a 1-2 team. They have a +1 map differential right now, but they're ranked 13th. Granted, they've played 3 games, and it's only week 2.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to see them go a lot better than before.
I think that if Shock starts doing better, that will be... I want to see the teams that did well last year still competing. I don't want to see... I mean, obviously...
the New York Excelsior is going to win every game.
I really don't want to see that happen. I'm going to be so disappointed if they go undefeated.
Why do you not like the Excelsior?
It's a Yankees type thing for me. It's because they're so damn good that it just pisses me off.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that they're bought, but they have the stacked team,
Yeah.
Which sucks. I don't want to hate them, but they're a New York team. They're good. The Cleveland blood in me wants to hate them. So I will.
I know why the Uprising lost is because their owner got involved in the prostitution ring this week.
Was that? Wait, really?
Rob Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots and the Boston Uprising, got caught in a prostitution ring.
Well, I heard about that, but I forgot that he owned Uprising.
Yeah. Which means that most Patriots players have 6 rings. Rob Kraft has 7, which is 6 Super Bowl and 1 prostitution ring.
Right. Of course. And he's never going to have a Boston Uprising. I don't know. Do they get rings? No, they get a trophy.
I don't even know, man.
They get a trophy. They should get rings. Actually, they should get shoes, because every last one of these players has the nicest goddamn shoes.
Activision Blizzard dumped a ton of money into Overwatch League, but I don't think it was in $1 million rings.
No. God, no.
Oh, God, no. Do you think the New York Excelsior went to the White House? Wait, no. Who would have gone? London Spitfire?
London Spitfire? God, I hope not.
Oh, God. You're ridiculous.
That'd be awful. I would refuse, probably. Mostly because it's, 1, I mean, who's our president, and 2, it'd be ridiculous to go to the White House for Overwatch League as a Korean, mostly competing team.
They just go into the White House, the New York Excelsior go into the White House, and is do any of these guys speak English?
No, God, no. God, no. They can give you call-outs like nobody's business in English.
Reaper behind.
Reaper behind! Burn this Winston? What? Anything else about Overwatch League?
I can talk about some non-Overwatch stuff right now.
All right. Going off of Overwatch, we, of course, wanted to... we talked about it briefly last week. Mass Effect.
Oh my goodness. And BioWare as a whole.
Yeah. Which ones have you played of Mass Effect?
I've played all 4 Mass Effect games.
Have you?
Relatively
I never got around to playing Andromeda. I adored the first 3.
Yes.
Loved them to death. 2 is one of my favorite RPGs ever.
Oh, it's everybody's favorite RPG.
I loved 2. And then they just went and made Andromeda, and it completely ruined it. I understand when game companies want to take a franchise like that and redo it a little differently and kind of change up how the game functions,
Yes.
Mass Effect was not one that needed an open world, honestly. Because that game is such a good... It thrives so well when it's telling individual stories that trying to make a broad open story fit into an open world like that, it just never works. The open-ended storytelling of an open world just never works with a game like that, especially when they had... I mean, you look at the first trilogy, that game had like actual voice actors, really good
big names. They had
cutscenes and everything. They had a Sheen. They had Martin Sheen. But like actually good voice actors, and then of course nobody knows what the fuck is going on with anything regarding the character animation or acting or anything for Andromeda. They just everything was phoned in. Even the animation, they found a way to phone in animation.
Like the animation wasn't nearly as bad for me playing it as like the awful like everybody was complaining about, but it was still bad.
Weren't there like game-breaking bugs in that game though?
What?
Like I remember seeing some stuff like enemies that you needed to kill were not spawning and things like that.
I never experienced that. I don't think.
Good.
But like every door that you needed to open took at least like 5 seconds to even try and open.
It sounds like Anthem does now.
Those load screens are ridiculous.
There you go.
The map sucks. The little objective markers you can see on the overworld aren't clear. I've definitely spent a solid 5 minutes trying to find an NPC I needed to talk to do a mission outside because it wouldn't let me pinpoint particularly where he actually was, and I was just going all over the damn place.
Right. And it sucks because you really had to try to mess a game up in that universe because it was such a cool designed universe.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, all the cities had their own, you know, cool. You could tell that the aliens that lived on that planet lived in a planet like that. Like the Krogan lived in slums. The Thane, or what were they called? The ones that like Garrus were.
Oh god.
I can't remember what those aliens were called. But those were...
I was going to say Trandoshan, but those are the name of the Bosk people in Star Wars.
Right. But every world was just designed so well. Every character, every alien design. Turians, that's it. They had the giant elephant-looking things that had to say the emotion that they wanted to convey because they couldn't convey an emotion through their speech. Like... How can you mess a game up like that with all that cool stuff?
Well, they had like so many different cool alien types that you got to explore on an intimate level in the first 3 games. And there was versus Andromeda where there's like 2 new species. One of them you kind of talk to sometimes that were basically space bureaucrats that weren't that interesting. And the others were the standard bad guys that you shoot. And spoiler alert for anybody who is wanting to play Mass Effect Andromeda, those space bad guys were just reformed versions of the space bureaucrats. Like they were corrupted versions or something.
Not the space bureaucrats.
Yeah.
The ultimate enemy.
It's been a hot minute since I played that game.
Yeah.
I enjoyed playing it, but that's because me on a personal level, I like to try and talk good about things. I want things to be good, and I'm a generally positive person. But it definitely had its flaws.
Right.
Like, what made exploring in Mass Effect 2, for instance, so much fun is that there was a lot you could go in and explore and a lot of things, but it was contained in on itself.
Right. It wasn't like you just had a big blank open world to explore. You had something that actually had some substance to it when you went down.
Yeah.
When you went down to a new planet, you're like, oh God, I don't know what I'm going to find here.
Yeah.
You know?
There was little downtime, little waiting.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that they made Mass Effect open world was honestly, in my opinion, the biggest downfall of it.
Right.
Like, talk about the voice acting, the animation, the load screens. What made that game not that fun was that they made it open world.
Because it took the focus off of the story, I think. Because as soon as you switch to an open world, story, I think, kind of takes a dip. You know? Because you have to go from the more linear storytelling approach to where you have to have things kind of like, oh, this person might stumble upon this at this point, and they have to actually react to that, you know?
Yeah. Like, the quests were extremely generic in that game versus you get the ones in your contained world. You have a general idea where you can go, you get to explore different areas versus random space planet. And, like, who would have thought, like, making an open world, you took the worst part of, like, Mass Effect 1 and 2 was oh, let's take this jank vehicle that's hard to control, that nobody enjoys using, and let's just make that the focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Easy. Speaking of games that are going through a little bit of changes that I know you're very excited for, we're gonna get our first console Pokemon coming up soon. Our announcement coming up soon, aren't we?
Do you see my tweet earlier today?
I did.
It was a couple hours ago that I said, like, this was before Baptiste was announced, 20 minutes before recording. It was along the lines of, with all this rumors about Hero 30 being dropped in Overwatch, and all the rumors about big Pokemon Gen 8 reveal stuff being this week.
Yeah.
It's just going to be too much for anticipation for me.
Yeah.
Did I tell you last week on the podcast about what they've been doing? I talked about the Pokemon of the Day things on the Twitter account, right?
Yes, briefly.
I think what they started doing after, on their YouTube and social medias, they've been releasing like a little, almost like a travel brochure like video for all the Pokemon regions.
Ooh, okay.
Like a minute-long video being like, explore Kanto, explore Johto.
Yeah.
Talk about all the highlights from the anime and all the different things you can do while you're there.
Yeah. So do you think pretty soon we're going to get a new one where it's going to be like, welcome to this new region?
Today was the Kalos region Gen 6.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is Gen 7 in Alola region, which would mean, chronologically, because numbers work, 8 comes after 7.
It does.
Wednesday.
So
and Gen 8's been confirmed for this year. What happens to be on Wednesday is Pokemon Day.
Wait, Pokemon Day as in like
the, I believe, 23rd anniversary of Pokemon Red and Green being released.
Really?
Yes. And what they're already doing, there's about a 4-day celebration starting on Wednesday going to Saturday with a bunch of live streams, a lot of Pokemon Duel, a lot of Pokemon TCG, Pokemon main series games, a lot of live streams and whatnot.
Right.
And logically speaking, the Gen 8 region from the video set would be on Wednesday to kick off this whole Pokemon Day event.
Yeah.
And this has some more weight to it because I believe Pokemon Sun and Moon, the Gen 7 games, were released a similar way to start off like Pokemon Day.
So what you think is going to happen is like they'll probably announce it on Wednesday and then throughout this whole celebration of events, hopefully show us some footage.
I think we'll get I think we'll get a JPEG of names on like Wednesday. We might see some starters or some legendary Pokemon this week. Right. But I think we'll at least get a JPEG of names in the region name.
And gameplay, hopefully? I really want to see gameplay.
I'm so excited to see what they're going to do with it.
Of course, there's always going to be the dream of the console Pokemon RPG, with online. I don't think that's going to be this game, of course. I think they're going to go for more traditional games still.
Here's the kicker, though, that makes me extra confused, is at the end of each of these little travel brochure videos for each region, it ends with a little tidbit on the screen like, which region would you want to visit?
Oh, okay. I want to visit the new one.
Are they going to do the what the Pokemon company has been, or all the fans have been exclaiming about since Gen 3, are we going to be able to visit every region?
Oh.
I hope not, because that'll just be fucking ridiculous.
That will be a lot. That will be too much. I mean, eventually, I would love to see something like that. Like, In
the words of the little girl voiced by Kristen Schaal and BoJack Horseman, that's too much, man.
That's too much, man. Yeah, for sure. I think some sunny day when we have VR and like you could just lay in a pod and you get transported into the game, and if you die in the game and die in real life, we'll have like you can go into Pokemon World and go into any region and play Pokemon.
It'd be really intense for rated E for everyone Pokemon.
I'd be fine with it, Okay, listen, if I'm gonna die because I got charred to a crisp by a Charizard, that's fine. That's a cool way to go out.
Be ridiculous.
And then if it bleeds between dying in the game and dying in the real life, and then they'll just genetically make real Pokemon eventually, so that you can both die in the game and actually get killed by a real life Pokemon in real life too.
See, I personally don't think that they're going to release a game that has every region in it, especially on Switch.
No.
There's like a long list of reasons that I'm not going to get into right now because it's way too much. Man, But Pokemon is very clearly a Nintendo-based company, right? And the fact of the matter is, the Switch's memory is piss poor.
It's terrible.
There are already games that have been released on, not like they didn't come on the Switch at first, but they're now on the Switch, that their size is bigger than the actual memory card that comes with the Switch.
Oh my god.
Like, there is no memory that actually comes with the Switch. So, like, this game is going to be huge if it's open world. It's not going to be on the Switch.
Right. I think that Nintendo needs to finally get their heads out of their ass next generation and release an actual system, Yeah. Because, I mean, I enjoy the Switch. I like the Switch, but it's not a primary system. People like to get a Switch on the side a lot if they can, because it's their, like, fun little... I will usually be playing my PS4, and then if I'm, getting bored of playing video games, sometimes I want to wind down with some video games, So I'll bring out...
That's how addiction works, yeah.
Yeah! I'll bust out Hey You Pikachu, or not Hey You Pikachu, Let's Go Pikachu, and play some goddamn Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Well, that's what I like about the Switch, is that they advertise it for everybody.
Right.
Like, there was apparently... I saw somebody say, like, what if they announced the Switch portable rumors? And I'm like, Switch is already portable.
Right. I don't see why they do something like that. No, I honestly think they should do a new dock for the Switch that actually has some hardware in it. So
okay.
Like a performance boost thing. So, like, you still get the portable where you can, play some of the lighter games. But if you want to play a graphically heavy game, you plug it into the Switch Dock Pro, and it's actually got, like, a graphics chip in it that can, help out, and you can actually play good-looking games,
That'd be interesting. But I think that might be a bit too hard to implement, because from a developer standpoint, then you need to release two versions of the game. One with good graphics, one with bad graphics.
One with bad graphics. Yeah, I think they should have done something where... I would have liked to see more openness to doing custom docks and things, I guess.
What I love about Nintendo is that for the longest time now, their biggest... their, like, gimmick feature on it has been the worst part about the system.
Right.
Like, motion controls on the Wii, it's great, but, like...
HD Rumble on the Switch.
It's... Well,
the gamepad on the Wii U.
The gamepad, the 3D and the 3DS.
They always try to do the little gimmick, and it's cool for 15 minutes, and then it dies away. I still will play my Switch, not docked. I'll still play it I'll take off the Joy-Con and, set it down on my desk, but that's so infrequent, I usually just use it like a console, which, I mean, Nintendo doesn't want to release a new, just regular-ass console anymore.
Don't you talk about, don't you be disrespecting one of the top highest-selling games of all time, Wii Sports, like that.
Listen,
Wii Sports is the number 4 highest-selling game of all time.
Behind what?
Tetris at number 1, Minecraft at number 2, Grand Theft Auto 5 at number 3. This is all on Wikipedia for best-selling video games.
Wow. Wii Sports at number, 4 you said, or 5?
Wii Sports at number 4 because it came with the Wii.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Number 5, surprisingly, is PUBG.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I never would have guessed.
Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Green, or Wii Fit,
nice.
Wii Fit Plus, number 7.
Goddamn Nintendo. I love Nintendo, but they're... Maybe we'll get some better marketing from Nintendo with their new president of Nintendo of America. Good old Bowser. Good old Doug Bowser.
Why don't we talk about that? I miss Reggie.
I miss Reggie.
My body was not ready for him to leave. Let me tell you that.
My body was not ready for Reggie to leave either. He used to do marketing for Pizza Hut. Or sorry, Papa John's.
Are you serious?
Yeah, which, cool. But yeah, he was one of those, corporate people that I actually enjoyed watching. He was a good Jeff Kaplan, type person.
Granted, I think Doug Bowser is going to be great. He's a good personality. People are going to have a lot of fun with him solely because his name is Bowser.
Of course.
Did you see in that announcement video with him and Reggie talking about how he's going to be the new person? Did you see in the background on the little shelf there was a Mario and Luigi stuffed dolls tied up together?
Yeah, and it was like they're not making any more.
Because he's Bowser, and it was hilarious. Like, I'm so ready for that kind of stuff. Like, any sort of video with him in it, I'm so happy if there's going to be an Easter egg like that in every video.
They've got to play into it. Of course they do. They've got to understand the potential for memes.
Yeah. I'm going to miss Reggie. He's going to, he did a great job.
Of course.
All respect him. I'm glad that he's going to retire.
Yeah.
He deserves it. But, like, I'm excited to see Doug Bowser step in. It's going to be fun.
He's got huge shoes to fill, obviously. But I think he's got more of a pulse on what people want.
Yeah.
You know? Because I think it's a huge problem with Nintendo is they don't listen a lot. You know? And sometimes, like, I don't want to be like the people that say, like, oh, yeah, game companies should be listening to exactly what we say, and every time we say something, they should just do it, you know, because then Overwatch would be a disaster.
Oh, my God. Well, I mean, we already do that because that's why Brigitte's been nerfed into the ground.
Right.
I've been nerfed into the ground, just Brigitte will never be bad.
Right. No, as long as she has Shield Bash, she'll never be bad. But
I think Reggie's retiring because he's still not recovered from that Nintendo Direct in July when he said, I can't wait to jump off the battle bus with you in Fortnite. Most uncomfortable thing I have ever seen somebody say.
The game is fun. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, man. I want to see. I mean, we are coming up on next gen, actually. Speaking of new generations of games, we got the PS5 that's, you know, supposedly getting announced this year, maybe.
And PlayStation wasn't going to be here at EA this year.
Oh, yeah. PlayStation's not going to be there. But, like, I think there's rumors that they're going to announce PS5 coming up soon. And then there's a code name for the next Xbox, too. I think.
Oh, my God. It's going to be what? So it went from Xbox to Xbox 360 to Xbox One.
Right.
So I think the name is going to be Xbox 73.
70? Yeah.
Yes.
Just kind of mix it up and just make everyone pissed off.
Because Microsoft clearly doesn't know what they're doing, and they want their name to reflect that.
Or they'll call it Xbox Next or something like that.
Oh my God.
Ugh. The marketing boys over at Microsoft don't know what they're doing.
Oh no. Can't release a good game to save their life.
Oh God, no.
Seeing Doug Bowser as the new, whatever Reggie's job was in Nintendo, I have no idea.
He's president of Nintendo America.
Oh, I'm just gonna say he's Reggie, interim Reggie. It reminded me of one of my favorite Onion articles, which was like a scientist link violence in teenagers due to the fact that you can play as Bowser.
In Smash.
Well, like, just in general, the ability to play as Bowser has made people more violent.
Yeah, that's true. I feel instantly more angry and violent when I play Bowser in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I just want to kidnap people as soon as I play Mario Kart Bowser.
You have a sudden feeling to throw people off the edge and jump on them with your butts. It's ridiculous.
Right. My dad actually ran out and got himself a PS4 Pro this week. Because he said he ran out of shows and wants to play a game for once.
Oh, wow.
He's about to play... I think he's going to go through all of the Uncharted. He's never played any of the Uncharted.
I haven't played any of them either. So
Really?
No. I know if you get the first 3 in a collection for PS4 for like under $20.
Probably like $5 you can find it for now because they released it for free, or not for free, but they gave it out in a bundle at one point, I think. So you can probably get that really cheap. That's a good game. I think you should check that one out.
The trilogy. My friend has Uncharted 4, so I could borrow him, but
it's a lot of fun. And then he also got Battlefield 5, which I have no interest in playing.
Absolutely not.
And then I told him to play God of War, of course, but he's been stubborn with it. He's like, no, I don't want to play that one yet. I'm like, it's one of my favorite games of all time now. You should probably try it.
There was a tweet I saw of a guy who's like, yeah, my dad's starting to get into video games. He started playing No Man's Sky, and he said, this is just yard work in space. And honestly, I can't say anything about it. He's absolutely right.
He's absolutely right. Right. Yeah.
We can talk about No Man's Sky next week.
Yeah, I that's still a wound for me that I don't like talking about.
I had some words about Mass Effect. I think you have some words about No Man's Sky.
I will say
that next week.
Yeah. Okay. I'll hold it off for next week. I'll rant about that game next week. I'm gonna play that game this week, I think.
Oh my goodness! You can give me what it's like now.
Yeah. All right. Well,
tell us what it's like. We're over 2 hours now.
I think it's a good time to wrap up. Yeah.
It's going to be less than 2 hours, probably like an hour 40 when we cut to it.
For sure. But looking forward to the games this week. Cover them over next week.
Yeah. Hopefully there'll be Pokemon news.
And hopefully we'll be absolutely spot on with our new Baptiste predictions.
I think we're pretty good in our predictions right now.
I will actually be shocked if his ult is not some kind of area denial. I'll say that right now.
Okay, final thoughts. What do you think his ult will be? Because we talked about his gun. We talked about he might be able to throw health kits.
I'm going to say his ult is a gaseous area denial. That's my guess.
Probably like a really big damage, really big heal. Maybe not even heal.
Maybe it provides like, maybe while you're in it, it obstructs your view a little bit and then reduces damage or I don't know. We'll figure out.
You can see through it, but the enemies can't.
Right.
And it's slight damage. I think that'd be cool.
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
All right. I'll see you next week, Ben.
Okay. Till next time, I'm Ben.
Till next time, I'm Connor. Burn blue.
And buy more loot boxes.
Buy more loot boxes. Absolutely.
Okay. I will see you.
Have a good week.